So there's some slop I wanted to go over today. So I saw this post on my subreddit, because usually my subreddit just has absolute garbage. Garbage on there. There's absolute garbage. There is not a human behind those goddamn eyes.
Neil.
Pyro fruit. Yep, there we go. Pyro fruit. A YouTuber Pyro has previously supported has had credible death threats issued against them. Previously covered stories about Friendlyjordies and his fight against corruption. So if you remember Friendlyjordies, I talked about him a lot in the past. He's a YouTuber that I love his content. He used to do these videos, like these skits. Like this one here, it absolutely kills me, man. It's so good. Hang on.
Done with you.
Smash it, Brandon! Smash that fucking window!
Done. Fucking done. Oh. Oi! Call the cops, Callum. What's their number again?
I'm on fucking medication and you can't raise my blood level! You gotta pay for that! You gotta pay for that!
So he's basically just trying to do a skit of like a crackhead family going to McDonald's. And it's funny because I never went to Australia before watching his videos. So his videos absolutely just, they brainwash me to thinking this is what Australia is actually like. Which it is, to be fair. I've been to Sydney, I've been to Melbourne. It kind of is like that. But yeah, Friendlyjordy would do like a bunch of troll videos. But then eventually he went into like political investigations. He would talk about like corruption inside Parliament. But recently, also you might have seen as well when I talked about in another video, he actually had his house set on fire. His house was it was like an arson attack, and then the police and the journalists, they kind of make it out that it's his own fault for pushing so much.
Finale?
No, I haven't seen it yet. Thank you for the 10. At one point, he was being sued. So Geordies would do a lot of political investigations, and it was funny because at one point he was given a lawsuit by a guy, but the way the law works in Australia is you have to be physically handed the lawsuit. So initially, I think he did like a bit saying that he didn't live in the house, or he pretended to be like an old person in the house. Oh yeah, this is it.
I'm trying to see Jordan.
You're done.
You're Jordan? Oh, okay.
I know you're done.
Yeah.
This is the house owner.
Pardon?
So the way the law works, he has to be physically handed the documents to acknowledge that he's being sued. But he was basically trying to roadblock that as much as possible.
House owner. My name, Mr. No Police.
Yeah, there.
This is not Jordan. Jordan live here, but he not here. Can you just excuse me? Come back. You seem like a nice man.
So he obviously didn't accept it then. So then he went into the offices to accept the lawsuit. But he's wearing like a prosthetic hand. So by proxy, he's still not accepting the lawsuit.
Nice to know what I'm getting sued for instead of reading hostile papers slant on why I'm getting sued.
Oh, you're a big man, Paul. Thanks so much.
I serve you here with the originating application, the statement of claim and the diagnostics.
Oh, thanks so much. And oh no, Paul, can you call an ambulance for me? Paul, my hand. You can't just leave me like this. Have you no heart?
So yeah, he's an infamous troll, but he genuinely does go after bad people. Like, I think there was a situation with the deputy premier of like New South Wales. There was a lot of corruption there. Honestly, I've covered all of this before. The law goes deep. But now, apparently he's getting death threats, which to be fair is like, I'll be honest, when I hear someone getting a death threat, I just think it's like, just move on, because I think everyone at this point gets some kind of death threat. I get like 50 of them on stream, but apparently these people are like actually showing up to his house. Australian Friendlyjordies is no stranger to organised opposition. He had his staff arrested by anti-terror police. This was another situation as well. He's had so many. So this is when like undercover police came to his house and arrested like his producers and stuff.
I'm not allowed to film it.
You film this, Mum? You can film it. That's okay. But you're not allowed to.
He had his house firebombed. This was another event as well. So everything was gone. The entire house was firebombed. It was like some kind of arson attack. He's made a statement saying due to the credible death threats, not legal threats, he's removed a certain video that features multiple. So apparently at one point, I think he was exposing like a huge crime syndicate in Australia. And this crime syndicate was like, they were in the property business, like the real estate business. So he's basically got so much harassment and death threats from them. He's had to like remove a video. or trim it out. So this is an update he put out a month ago.
A man with alleged links to a major crime family has been charged over the firebombing of Jordan Shank's Bondi home. The high-profile YouTuber known as Friendlyjordies was not at home during the blaze in November last year.
He basically tried to expose like a crime syndicate and then was harassed constantly.
Junior Tawesi Awalua over the fire. He is an alleged associate of the Alameddine crime family.
Police say more arrests are expected in the coming days.
The Alameddine crime family was mentioned by Mr. Shanks in a video posted on his YouTube channel last year, 3 months before his house was allegedly firebombed.
I think it's a possibility that it was in retaliation.
It really is insane though, because you have so many situations with YouTubers that, like, you know, you'll have like drama with other YouTubers and stuff, but this guy actually went after a crime syndicate.
Mr. Tawesi Awalua acted alone.
This man, police allege, used his own vehicle as a getaway car. Police are alleging that this person acted in a joint criminal enterprise with 3 other men.
So then they took a break, which obviously totally makes sense. Like, you've been firebombed. I think he's mentioning Patreon stuff. So that's it. But now, a day ago, he's uploaded another video relating to, you know, the crime syndicate.
So we haven't been releasing videos. You might have noticed that we haven't been releasing videos after the police arrested a suspect for the firebombing of my house. While we're very grateful for their persistence throughout this ordeal, we felt it would be prudent to see what the response would be from certain individuals. Their response has been one of rather perplexing confidence. Buoyed by the lack of further arrests, they have decided to be much more blunt with their requests, threatening anyone they believe had handed over information to assist with the creation of the video Coronation. This video detailed links former Deputy Premier John Barilaro had with development company Coronation Property.
So if you don't know John Barilaro, that's someone that he was the Deputy Premier of New South Wales for a little bit. He's like, I think he's part Italian. That's why Friendlyjordies was doing that Italian bit with the door being answered. But this guy, from Friendlyjordies' perspective, is insanely corrupt. He has done a lot of things that Friendlyjordie has listed. There was actually one funny bit that Friendlyjordie did as well, where he actually stayed at John Barilaro's one of his Airbnbs and recorded an entire video on John inside his Airbnb, which is like the ultimate, you know, punch in the gut. But yeah, so he's gone on quite a lot about the Deputy Premier, or I guess like ex-Deputy Premier. And it's funny, actually, I think I covered this before as well. The Deputy Premier went after Friendlyjordies legally. I think he lost. But then he went after Google because Google owned YouTube. And I think he actually won that case. And obviously the dislikes on the video can tell you people weren't happy.
It's been a long journey, a long 2 years. I am emotional today to hear His Justice read out the reasoning and the evidence, and the case itself again is, you know, a little bit traumatizing, but I'm happy it's the end of the journey.
I'm not sure how much he was paid.
The news reporter said his house allegedly got firebombed. Not that it did happen, but that it allegedly happened. Shit's fucked. Again, sorry for interrupting.
Thank you, Drifter. He got paid. Jesus, he got paid $715,000. I mean, is that AUD though? If that's Australian, that's like £2.50. That's not a lot. But if that's dollars, damn. But yeah, tried to go for Geordie, didn't work. Went for Google, it worked.
The video encompassed more than Coronation Property Associates. It included an array of spirited characters, many of whom were enraged with its release. Police have made it very clear.
One thing I do want to say as well, I know I'm going on a lot of tangents. There is so much law. Like Friendlyjordie has gone after so many people, but a lot of it does actually tie in together.
Clear.
But again, I've already done videos talking about the other situations, but this one's new.
That many of the prime suspects in the firebombing are in that video. Now, over a year later, these figures are once again venting, threatening dire consequences if the video isn't taken down. Given these people's colourful history, we don't consider these to be idle threats.
I know as soon as he says venting, chat is just going to make an Among Us joke. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Naturally, we contacted the appropriate authorities, but it appears these men have engulfed...
Jordies has all the enemies. Yeah, he really does. It sucks because, like, the media hate him because he went after John Barilaro. So they just, you know, but because mainstream media in general, they hate YouTubers. They hate them. If unless you're that high profile, like KSI or something, that you're appearing on like, you know, daytime TV in the morning and stuff, or like interviews, or you're on like, you know, 5 o'clock game shows on a Friday evening. Like they hate YouTubers. Mainstream media hate YouTubers. They just think they're little like investigative journalist worms that have like no backbone. So the media doesn't like Jordies. The police don't like Jordies because again, he went after the government.
The state in a state of fear. It appears these men are indeed above the law. It appears these men are free to point the scythe at anyone they wish, blackmail them with the most heinous, violent...
Apparently as well, even though... I don't know if this is 100% confirmed, obviously, but apparently the police might know who these people are, and they're just not pressing charges because they're that corrupt.
Acts imaginable, and there is not an authority
because this isn't like you know, someone that sits in their room on Discord and swats people. Like, this is an actual organized crime syndicate
in the land powerful enough, or perhaps foolhardy enough, to check them. We have done our absolute best to keep the video up. Believe me, we have. But if the content of Coronation is to fall on willfully deaf ears, if its only tangible result is the death of innocent people, we will not have their lives hang on our conscience.
Yeah, because keep in mind, when his house was firebombed, they did it at night on purpose, hoping that he'd be asleep. They basically did try to kill him.
In other words, you win. We're taking down the video. Congratulations, you
no
won
Breaking
this city.
Bad intro soundbite? Not cool.
You were ignorant of the fact that Sydney is more or less 1920 Chicago, but now that we're fully aware, you are free to run your business without further bother from us. Sorry for the inconvenience. The real shame in all of this, of course...
They firebombed his neighbors by accident as well. This really doesn't surprise me. Like, they went in there to basically kill him, and if they didn't kill him, they'll at least burn down his house. It's not just Australia Gov. There's also some connection with the American Gov about the Middle Eastern war. Yeah, I feel this is a very deep rabbit hole. Yeah, I feel he's really in over his head here. Like, he has got so many people on his back.
Actually evil people. That probably means he will soon upload a video about your hairdresser.
Okay, enough with the hair jokes, enough with the chin jokes. That was a good one, though. Can you explain in Fortnite terms? Friendlyjordy tried to get Victory Royale on a very bad person, but then he got stream sniped. There you go.
Course is that it would have made a great story for self-proclaimed...
He got stream sniped, so everyone in the lobby wanted to get him.
Home of Australian investigative journalism Four Corners that touts that it exists to serve the public interest. And you, of course. It would be very interesting to hear the editorial rationale for why the paralysing grip that organised crime has over the First State didn't meet that criteria, while trying to get to the bottom of why there isn't more homosexual AFL players did. Questions for another time, perhaps. The question for now, though, is how did these men accumulate so much power that they have incapacitated any of the so-called estates from acting on matters that question its own ascendancy? This is not thugs killing other thugs for territory. This is unlawful punishment for reporting on the erosion of state authority. You would...
It is crazy how much corruption there is, though. He's not backing down, but I think he has to take the video down because he is genuinely in fear for his life. Because, you know, if someone says online in a game of Fortnite, I'm going to kill you. If you get a death threat online or in a video game, it's like, yeah, whatever. But, like, these people have already attacked his house. At least it's not Brazil. It'd be dead, straight up.
Think that that would interest the state for self-preservation purposes, if nothing else. And yet it doesn't. As such, if the policy is to let sleeping dogs lie, so be it. We can live with that. In fact, we have no choice. We've learned that there is a currency that is far more dependable than the dollar. And that's terror. We can take solace in the fact that we did our part, more than our part, more than we will ever be able to publicly divulge. We ran out onto no man's land without any support. And support never came. Statement from Friendlyjordies.
Yeah, that's really sad. He's basically just had to call it a day. New South Wales Police is a whole new level of incompetent. #1 rule in journalism, if they threaten to silence you, you're on the right track. Shame on the Australian media, police and relevant authorities for not doing a better job in this land. Shame. Yeah, it's a crazy situation. It really is. Commenting here, so I get put on the corrupt Aussie politicians hit list. I hope he keeps going. He will keep going as a YouTuber. He's not quitting as a YouTuber, but I think he's basically admitting in that video that he has to call it quits on this investigation. because he's just not getting any support and he is being targeted because he's had his house firebombed and then the police have just gone, oh, we don't know who it is. Like, they had a suspect.
Doesn't this video still bring up the problem and thus still represent his problem with them? Doesn't this still make him a target? And since this is very popular topic, doesn't that make it bigger?
Doesn't this video bring up the problem? Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely. But he has said himself in the video that he's stopping on this investigation because he knows, like, he's going into a very heavy topic and he basically has, I mean, he said himself he's got no backup. Like, he could be as vocal as he wants on YouTube, but, like, what's YouTube gonna do? What are they gonna do about it? And then obviously the media absolutely hates him as well. Like, I remember, if I can find it, I'll see if I can find it, but he had his house firebombed and the media was just so uncaring.
If
like,
they
about
hire
his
the
safety.
sniper from Stu, he is cooked.
Yeah, this is when he did an interview with the media. This is after his house got firebombed, by the way.
Obviously, we've done some extremely dangerous reporting over the last year, I suppose, of a bunch of extremely powerful people and corporations. There is many people that would want to do that. I obviously can't say who I suspect it is, but I do have like a short list in my head of who I think would have done it. I would hope that the New South Wales strike force that is supposedly set up for fixated people and terrorists would be looking into this instead of a comedian and his team for 6 months straight at the whim of a previous premier that all...
Yeah, he had a team like spying on him as well. They were called like a fixated persons unit. I think it's like some made up part of like the police that are basically meant to like cyber stalk or stalk people that are deemed like a threat to the government.
All of you defended for his last 10 years, and then when he came out, and even after all the New York stuff, you're still sitting there defending him now. I saw all of your articles today where you all wrote all of the same little narrative that you write every time. I would hope that you would put just as much attention on the fact...
It's like they're writing in this article here, like he was targeted in suspected arson.
All of the same...
But then in the same article, they still snide him,
Pyro,
basically just saying he's
I know
obsessed.
This is a difficult topic to address, but you're 26 now. Twink death will affect you like it does with anyone over 25.
Are you twinkle for the 10?
Little narrative that you write every time. I would hope that you would put just as much attention on the fact that that happened as you have on trying to assassinate my character over the last year. Thanks for your time.
Did something happen here a week ago, Jordan?
Did something happen here a week ago, Jordan? Like, his house just got burned down, bro. And all you want to do is get like a little gotcha moment. Like, you could tell that woman just pre-rehearsed that in her head so much just to like ask him.
Someone has clearly just tried to kill Jordan Shanks. He's extremely upset. It's not something he can make a gag about, you know. And as he said, the list of suspects is considerable. It makes one ponder.
Someone in chat said, I'm so lost. Basically, YouTuber does journalist investigations into corruption in Australia. He dug too deep, and there is basically like a mob that is out to get him now, and they firebombed his house, and they've harassed him so much, sent him death threats, which are definitely real death threats because they've already bombed his home. And basically, he's just had to stand down and say, like, you win, because he's probably, he believes that he's going to end up dead. Everyone seems corrupt, the police, the government, and the media. Yeah, it's like, he had his home burnt down, and then they're still only there just to do like a gotcha moment. I mean, this is Jordan's lawyer as well, Geordie's lawyer, and even he's saying someone has tried to kill him, which is true. They set his house on fire at night when he was sleeping, hoping that he was there.
Credit for the work he's done, for this extraordinary array of stories that he's brought against the most powerful people in New South Wales and some of its most...
But yeah, I think that's enough with that topic. I've kind of gone over everything I need to.